I feel like, yeah, you started the whole trend of all of these major publishers going after the internet producers and signing them. I mean, if you think about it now, that's all they're signing now.
Yeah.
That's all they're signing. They're signing as the internet producers, their whole roster.
Shout out BeatStars Publishing, man.
BeatStars, the foundation, the precedence. We flying flags in every city, global residence. And we killing off the masters. Ghetto slave driving bastards. We making hits faster than you could think. We're on the brink of revolution. All my indie music makers, here's your restitution. We got the game in a chokehold. Not paying the creators is a no-no. I got the smoke road for all the fam bam.
Hey, BeatStars fam, it's BATSHON, and we're back for another legendary Pay the Creators episode with one of the internet's pioneering producers who took the type beat movement to a whole nother universe. He's inspired a whole generation of young producers around the world to chase their dreams and has collabed with the likes of XXXTentacion, NLE Choppa, NBA Youngboy, and thousands of artists all around the globe. To me, because I know him, he's the people's champ and has never let his success change who he is. I'm talking about none other than the man, the myth, the legend, CashMoneyAP. Welcome to the podcast, bro.
Thank you, bro.
Appreciate you, man.
Been a long time.
I know.
Yeah.
It's been a long time. We were just talking about, it's been a few years since we've seen each other. It was pre-COVID. Everyone went into hiding, and now we're all out. And I'm thankful that you opened up your beautiful home and studio, and to have us here to have this conversation. The community is gonna go crazy to see BeatStars and Cash Money on the conversation.
Man.
Yeah. How
Thank
are
you for coming. I'm good, and you?
Yeah, I'm doing good, man.
Yeah,
I'm doing good. Thank God. We're breathing. We're living.
Exactly.
Making moves. I know you are too. But I think, the last time, like, the community heard a little bit about you, I think it was like DJ Pain One did an interview with you on BeatStars back in Atlanta. That was a long time ago. But I think, like, you've done so much press and so much, so many interviews, but it's still good to remind people a little bit about where you come from. Kind of like that origin story of how you got into music and your journey, to where you are now. But let's start from the beginning. I'd love for you to talk about just a little bit where the origin story. Yeah.
So I always like music, I'm from the Caribbean. Well, it's a French island, based in the Caribbean. And all we listen to there is like dancehall, or like the music from down there, like it's called compa. It's like Haitian music. But we also had like American music because Guadeloupe, that's my island, is super close to America. So we used to have BET. So every night we used to listen to BET at 106 St. Park. So that was like the little thing that we had every night to watch. And I didn't have any like back thought of like, oh yeah, I'm going to be a music producer and stuff like that. One day my cousin came to my house with FL Studio on his computer, and he was like, yo, I just made a beat. I was like, what's a beat? And he showed me, and I was like, yo, put this on my computer. And then I just started learning it, and then I just started learning it, and then it was like, it's like every day you practice, It's not like there was like tutorials on YouTube. YouTube wasn't even a thing yet. I'm pretty sure, It's just, I think it was just starting. But
What year was this? How old were you?
I'm 28 now. I was 15. I was 15 years old. So
in high school.
Yeah. Damn, I'm old.
No, man. Come on. If you're old, fuck, what am I?
It's been like, I feel like I've been doing that my whole life,
Yeah, for real.
But
for real.
Yeah. I just started like practicing every day, but it was just as a hobby, It wasn't nothing like I'm gonna do it to make a living out of it. It was just like, I go to school, I go to football practice. It's not soccer, it's football. I go to football practice, and then after that I go back home, and then I just like mess with it for like maybe 30 minutes a day. But then still, I was still on it every day,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coming from a small island and, being exposed to this software, FL Studio, and like making beats. What did your parents think about you doing music? What did they think about it? What did they think you were doing?
I mean, I was just on my computer. I don't think they knew anything about it, It's just like after when I really my mom really saw me bringing income. She was like, "What do you do?"
Mm.
I was like, "I make music," and she was like, "How you make money from music?" Because back home, like the jobs the type of jobs that we have is like you become a carpenter, or like you do like plumber, stuff like that.
Like
Or,
service jobs.
yeah, or like to go to school.
Or work in the tourist industry, like
Yeah.
hotels and.
Exactly. That's what my mom used to be. She used to be a waitress. She used to be like in the lobbies or like hotels and stuff, like checking in people and stuff like that. And my dad is he has an insurance company, so a whole different type of thing. But yeah, I didn't really have like dreams of like becoming like a lawyer or stuff like that, because it's not like something that's like possible to us to do. Just like being a music producer, it's not something that's like wow.
Right. It wasn't really exposed to you there. Like, how big? What's the population? Of
Like
that
400,000 people.
island? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a lot.
Yeah, it's
For
like
a whole nation.
yeah, it's like the size of like it's a little smaller than LA. Like the whole LA with Long Beach. It's like this is already bigger than Guadeloupe.
And so, like, you don't remember it having a real music industry or anything like that, right? There's no. I mean, was there any artists that locally that you were kind of like tapped into, or?
Not even. I was listening to Jamaican music, like Vibes Cartel, like Sizzler. Sizzler, that's his name, right? Sizzler. That was they had a song that was like popping back in the day.
Yeah.
That's what I was listening to. And as far as like the music industry, like I wasn't really knowing. I didn't know anything about it. I was just listening to the music.
But I remember you telling me a long time ago you were taking football real serious though. That was like you were right.
Man, I was really good at it. Not to like talk shit, but I was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I stopped when I was like when I really took music seriously. That's when I stopped. I was like 16 or 17. When I was a little skinnier, and now it's just like the American food. I'm a little chunky now, but
Come on, man. You look great, man. You're blessed. You've done so much. And you experienced so much, and it's like always becoming like a common theme about producers, the successful ones, coming from these small towns, these small places, with no music industry, making it the biggest or the most, having the most success, because when you're pushed in a corner and you have no other like access to a music industry like here in LA or New York, you're not spoiled. Like you have to find a way to get people to hear your music from the internet. When did you think that uploading beats or uploading videos on YouTube, that there was a world out there for your type of music? When was that first moment where you had any kind of reaction to your music on the internet that kind of gave you the confidence to be like, oh shit, okay, there's a world out there. There's people that kind of like what I'm trying to do. I'm gonna keep uploading. When did that moment happen?
So the first thing ever that I was just like, I want to keep doing this is like when I seen that Lex Luger video when he was in the closet making beats. That's the first video. That was the first one. I was like, yeah. And then after that, I was remaking his beats on YouTube. Like that's why I was dropping remakes of Lex Luger beats.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna take credit because I wasn't the first one to do type beats. Like there was people before me.
For sure.
And I don't remember their names, but they were doing like Chen Kingston type beat, all the Jason Derulo type beat. So I started doing that too. And when I gained traction by just like not even posting beats online, but I was on Twitter, like hustling my beats. Like I was typing send beats on a search bar, and then I was sending to everybody that was posting their emails.
Yeah.
And then a lot of them were like from Chicago, so they were using the beats, and then the big rappers started like coming at me like, "Yo, send me some beats," and then I started like, I wasn't making no money out of this, like no contract, no money, nothing.
You're just pushing.
Like sending the beats, because I was in school and I wasn't like, my parents didn't ask me to like, oh, you got to bring money to the table, because I was like in high school and stuff like that. So I was just like, let me just send beats out, see how it goes. Like at first I didn't know what a placement was, It's my friend from France, shout out Chapo, that's his name. He showed me how like, he was like, yo, send your beats out. I was like, what is a placement? He said, that's when you get your beat placed.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know nothing of that. So shout out to him. I was doing those Ayaz. Ayaz was like that one guy from I think from the Virgin Islands, I think. Yeah. I was doing his type beats.
Yeah.
But then came all that way of Chief Keef and all that. I was doing those type beats.
Mm-hmm.
And I really started like seeing like stuff come in when I was doing Young Thug type beats.
Yeah.
Like London on the Track type beats.
I I remember. I was there.
And then that whole thing when I was putting free type B, like
Yeah.
they were like, "Oh, you fucking up the game." Like,
Yep, I
bro, no,
remember
I
that.
opened the doors for everybody. Like, it was crazy.
Yes, yes. But I want to go back to the remaking of beats and the importance of that. I think a lot of people sleep on that. You know, when you're first coming up, everyone, you know, especially like, you know, a lot of producers that are first starting to make music, you know, and even me with like shit when I was rapping, dude, like I was like getting lyrics from all my favorite rappers and try to reenact what they were doing. I was trying to do everything from Tupac to NWA to all this stuff, right? Like, so but it helped kind of form and understand like how to arrange a song or how to deliver something. And it's like, how can you make something if you don't deconstruct it? And so do you think when you were uploading those remakes of, you know, Lex Luger, or any of those other tracks? I mean, shout out to Lex Luger. I feel like he was like one of the guys that really turned on the FL kind of like trap genre. He kind of introduced it in a way, right?
No, definitely.
Yeah, he was like one of the originators.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of like, what did that do for you? Because a lot of people, like, you know, they'll put a tutorial or they'll put their beats, and not many people were actually like making like remakes and putting it up on YouTube to show other people how to make this sound.
Mm-hmm.
When did you get to the point where you're like, you know what? Okay, I'm gonna stop doing remakes. Now I want to kind of venture off into my own and develop my own signature sound.
Yeah.
You know?
First the remakes were just like to help me like practice how to learn it, because, you know, around that time there was no tutorials or anything. So all you could do is just like try to redo a beat that you really liked, and that's what I was doing. But when I first really started posting beats, it's like when I really felt comfortable, like, yeah, I could just do my own thing and just post them. And then I was using those type beats, like the name, just to market my beats. It was just like, oh, I'm going to do a beat just like that beat,
For sure,
you know?
For sure.
Yeah.
I think when we first met, or first got in touch, I don't know what year it was, maybe 2015, 2016,
Around that
something
time.
like that. And I noticed, man, like your channel was getting so much traction. You know, it was like you were getting like thousands of plays, and you were like really owning these keywords, you know, these keywords. And I think a lot of producers, they get kind of stuck with like, oh, what type beat should I make? And I think you brought up a good point, you know, where you said, I wasn't making like when people hear type beat, they have this like misconception or like misunderstanding of what that is. They think that it's you recreating identically a person's beat and you're trying to sell it off as your own. And that's not the case. It's making beats in the likeness of, or making beats in a style of that you think that artist would maybe like or want to get on, you know? And I think a lot of people, you know, they used to hate on us back in the day. I remember we used to deal with that, right? And because everyone had this misunderstanding. And then you said you got a lot of hate when you started putting the free tag on your titles. And, you know, and then people were like, oh, why is CashMoneyAP, you know, putting free in front of his YouTube videos? And then he's got to, you know, I remember us talking like, yo, put the free download link in the description, let people download the file. And I think not many people understood that approach.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that it was a thing maybe on the SoundClick days where people were giving away free downloads, but they weren't like tag downloads, you know, but you did it for your whole catalog. Mm-hmm. And it flooded the market because your channel was already buzzing and you were getting hundreds of thousands of plays on your videos. And now you gave people access to these beats. And they were, let's be honest, they were ripping them off of YouTube.
Rip them off
They're ripping off of YouTube anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What do you think that did for you in your career to be able to be like, yo, here's hundreds, if not 1,000 beats available for free download, and it's being downloaded? I mean, how many times have those free beats been downloaded?
A lot. I don't know.
Hundreds of thousands of times, right?
Yeah.
Right? And I remember that time period when you were doing that, I would walk into studios all over the country, bro. All over the country, and every beat was a CashMoneyAP beat, bro.
Yeah.
Every studio literally in America was loading up a CashMoneyAP beat because you gave everyone access.
Yeah.
Do you feel like the free download kind of strategy that you put together is what propelled everything for you? Do you feel like that was like what turned everything around for you?
Yeah, I always thought of it as like a strategy, like a business.
It's kind of like the mixtapes.
Yeah.
The free mixtapes.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Like yeah, exactly. But it was mostly like how can I market myself, like be appealing to people. So I was just like
Without the need of money.
Without the need of money, yeah. So I feel like I know a lot of rappers, they're gonna rip the beats anyway. It's like I could have 20 tags on a beat on YouTube, they're still gonna get it and rap on it. I had some example of like big French rappers using my beats and my tag was playing every 6 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah, the songs got like millions of views. Like, so I was like, I might as well just like drop them for free. And then, you know, I remember on BeatStars, you could like, if you want to download it, you have to follow me on YouTube or you have to follow me on SoundCloud. And I did that. I had them follow me on SoundCloud, and my SoundCloud had like 60,000 followers, and I wasn't dropping anything on SoundCloud, you know.
Right.
So I always had like,
you were gaining new followers. Yeah.
Exactly. So it was always like me getting exposure first before me making money. Because, you know, as I said, I was in school and I was trying to be a CPA at that time for my parents. You know, I always try to do like good for the parents, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, I still remember that day when you hit me to like get on BeatStars. And I think I wasn't even speaking that good English.
No, we had a tough time. We had a tough time talking.
Yeah.
But you trusted me though.
Yeah.
And you were like, okay, Abe, I see the vision. I understand the free download links and then send. I think we went through like every one of your videos and we added that. Fucking YouTube took it away, but there was that CTA button on the video that would direct people to your store.
Yeah.
You know, and that changed everything for you.
Mm-hmm.
That was like overnight.
Yeah, yeah. I remember like we set up the store and then the next day I was getting sales.
Yeah.
Because I remember I was on SoundClick before, and then when you were making a sale, you had to send the stuff manually.
God,
that was so annoying. I was getting sales. People were buying like stamps, and I didn't even know what stamps were. Like, it was like, yo, can you send me the stamps? I'm like, what is that? You know what I'm saying? So it was just like,
that's right. I remember when we first talked, you were only uploading MP3s.
Yeah, I was only
uploading
MP3s.
Alex, I was like, Cash Money, bro. I was like, you're missing out, my dog. You got to create more licenses, upload the wave, stems. You're like, what stems? I'm like, all right, we got to show you how to export all this. And your English was like, you were still like, you know, still learning. And I think you were still in Guadalupe at this time. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was great, man. We developed like a really, really genuine, like early relationship early on. You had the work ethic, like the talent, the determination, the entrepreneurship. And I love that you approached it with exposure first. Like, fuck the money in the beginning. Like, it's okay. The money's going to come. But let me build a name for myself. Let me get my music into millions of people's hands and then turn it on when you needed to turn it on. And I think that's an approach a lot of, like, especially up-and-coming producers need to worry about. Like, they need to think about, like, how can you get your stuff in people's hands? That's the number one priority.
Exactly.
Forget the sale right now. Get your music into people's hands, and if they love it, they're going to come back.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
And they're going to buy. And you proved that. You actually pioneered that. Pioneered that, man. And I know you said that, like, there was type beats before you came in the game, but you did it in a way that had so much business strategy. You focused on like one or two keywords. While everyone was trying to make a million different type beats, you're like, you know what? And this is when Young Thug wasn't even really nobody really. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he was
starting to go up.
He was just starting to, and you bet on him in a way. Mm-hmm. You bet on him like, yo, that's artist that's going to be here for a minute. I'm going to ride that wave.
Yep.
And it worked.
Yeah, it worked.
The competition wasn't too crazy around that keyword. You wrote it for years, and your channel was really a Young Thug type beat channel for a few years.
But then I had everybody use those beats.
Right.
Like I remember to this day, if I go to a studio with like a new coming artist, so like even like the kids around like 22, 23, the first thing they say, yo, I used to rip off your beats. The first session I did with Youngboy, it's a song that he with him and Kevin Gates, like he got the beat off YouTube.
Yeah.
Not the baby. Chris Brown got one of my beats on YouTube. Designer. That's how I got signed actually, because of Designer, because it was using my YouTube beats.
That's right.
You know?
That's right. I remember that.
Yeah, it was funny. Yeah, but
that's what sparked off the deal was that Designer song.
And not even just that. There was another guy called Sub Baby.
Oh,
Sub Baby. You remember Sub Baby?
Yeah.
I remember his dad used to buy my beats of my BeatStars. So Baby, I had a song with A$AP Rocky too. Yeah. That's how I got into my manager's ears.
Right.
But it's mostly Designer, so shout out to Designer.
Right. And the hate was like it was hate. I remember it.
Oh,
I remember
so hate.
And it was terrible.
And it was coming from other producers. It wasn't even coming from like people outside. It was producers hating on it.
Yeah. because you were finding success with all of these young, brand new artists that really like you kicked off their fucking careers, bro. Like Little Skies, you know, Young Boy, like all these guys, like really, really early in their careers, you really gave them the platform and canvas to like show the world what their music could be like. How does that feel sometimes, man? Even XXX, like all these guys, like really, like you were part of their journey so early, man. You know, and I think the hate was not just on the producers. The hate was on those guys too. People didn't like the transformation of hip hop and where it was going. You know, they were calling it mumble rap, right? They were calling it all these horrible things, and those artists are still here. I mean, those artists are still, you know, putting out #1 albums. You know, I mean, Young Boy has how many #1 albums now in a row? Like
A lot.
a lot. He don't even have to promo. He don't have to do nothing. He just drops and it's
Just
#1.
Yeah.
And without those young guys coming from where they're from, in the neighborhoods that they're coming from, having access to a free Cash Money AP beat, we may have never seen what these guys could have ever become.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know?
It's crazy to think about that, you know? Like if I wasn't there, like some of those guys might not have been like where they're at right now.
For real. No, man, you gave birth to like a whole generation of artists, producers, but you're a humble giant though, bro. And I think people don't give you enough of your flowers for that, because a lot of people in your position could have been like out there bragging, you know, out there boasting all the things that you've accomplished. And instead you turned it into love for the community and you collabed with everyone. Even at the peak of your career and placements, you were working with like the lowest of lowest producers, and you would post them on your page and you would show them love. That's why I said in the intro, you're the people's champ, because, you know, like a lot of industry producers that have gotten to the places where they are, they develop this crazy ego that they will never humble themselves to work with the next young kid.
Yeah.
You know? And I think that probably comes from, you know, your background, your upbringing, coming from a small island, being appreciative of every opportunity. Like
Exactly,
where did that come from?
You know, back home we don't really have that much stuff, you know?
Yeah.
So it's just like, especially the notion of money. Having money is already like, you can't like blow that money. Like my money is always like, when I was getting all those sales from beats, I wasn't spending that money. It was just like saved up. Like I'm not touching that money.
Yeah.
You know, so the only thing I bought was a car, and I saved up for 10 months. Like all the money I was making from beats, I was making $1,000 a month from selling beats. I saved up for 10 months to buy a car, which was around like 9,000 euros.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's the only thing I bought. Like I'm super cheap. I'm really, you can ask my wife, I'm really cheap. Like
it's not about being cheap. It's about being responsible.
Yeah.
Being grateful for every penny when you never like had it growing up, right? Like,
Exactly.
So it's like, what am I going to waste it on? Like bullshit? You
Exactly.
know?
That's why you don't see me with chains. If you see me with stuff with jewelry, like it's a gift I got.
Yeah.
Or like this one was like for my birthday back in like 2018, and I always wanted one, so I got it. But like I have a chain that's my manager gifted me that I'm not a flashy person, so I would wear it at like certain occasions.
Yeah.
But I'm not really into like that type of stuff. Like I'd rather invest in like real estate or like stuff like stuff like generational wealth. Like I don't want to buy something that's tomorrow is not gonna be worth what it's worth right now. You know.
Real shit, man. I mean, we're sitting in a multi-million-dollar property right now.
Oh yeah, it's going up. It's been going up. Yeah.
You know, like you put your money into real estate, you were responsible with it. I wouldn't don't call yourself cheap, man, because I think showing other young people to be responsible with their shit when they have that opportunity, instead of just blowing it and not having the appreciation for money and like developing like financial liberation for themselves, man. Like you gotta be real with people, especially in this like consumerism world where it's all about what you're wearing or what shoes you got on. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Exactly.
Fuck that.
Yeah. That's why I try to stay away from social media.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's too much of that.
It's toxic.
Yeah, it's super toxic. Yeah. You know?
It sets like a false reality for people, you know?
Yeah.
I love it. And you've been a great example for it, bro. And,
Thank you.
And, you know, I think when we're talking about like the language barrier, you know, in the beginning, when we were first communicating, like was there another language barrier with your customers too? Like when you first came in, like starting, you know, or artists, or like, how did you overcome that? Because, you know, it's like you came in dominating a very US style of music, you know? So did you have any like uncomfortable moments where like you were self-conscious about yourself a little bit because of the language, or how did you overcome some of that?
As far as like customers and then talking online, It was mostly like Google Translate. Like I was just translating everything. And then I do remember when I used to work with the Chicago rappers. There's one called named SD. It used to be with Chief Keef. He used to call me all the time, and all I was saying was like, "Sounds good, sounds good." I didn't understand what he was saying because they have a slang also when they talk. It was like
Oh,
it
yeah.
was
Some
fun.
of those Chicago guys can't understand them.
I remember one time I was on the phone with him. He said, "Yo, you got anything else to say?" And I was like, "Sounds good." So he always made fun of me for like not saying anything, but then I feel like I knew what he was saying, but I just couldn't like say it. Like
Right.
I just couldn't like translate what I was saying in French to him, you know? Yeah, it was funny.
For sure. That's growth though, man. That's growth. You're a family man now.
Yeah.
You're a family man now. You got married, have a little guy.
The little guy, yeah. 20 months.
What has that done for you in terms of like your growth?
Well, I was always like somebody that's super disciplined. So it got me even more disciplined. And then it really changed my life though, because I don't really make music as much as I used to. I really spend a lot of time with my son. And I always ask my wife, what do you need? Do you need help? I don't want to be like I'm always in the studio and then my son see me like a couple hours a day. I want to be with him all the time, you know? That's why like after we're done, I go see him, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, it really changed me, but I try to balance both words. But I would rather be with my son than be in the studio, you know?
For sure.
Yeah.
And like, especially like dealing with like artists whose schedules are crazy and they demand so much time, and like being a father, like you feel like it's made you more organized about your time, like really creating like schedules for yourself that so you're not having to sacrifice too much.
Yeah, I'm trying not to. As far as like scheduling, it's I schedule stuff, but it's still how to like maintain the schedule, because there's always stuff coming up.
Yeah.
Family wise or like even music wise, I have like sessions that could pop up like in 2 hours. Can you come and stuff like that? So it's kind of hard, but I'm trying to get better at it.
Yeah.
And then I'm pretty sure like a lot of producers, they're going through the same thing, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Music industry is weird. It's like 24 hours, like people calling you, I got to get this pack. I got to do this. I got to do that. It's demanding. It's demanding. But I think what's great about what you've done is like you built the studio, and you've really been able to like, you know, curate the type of experiences that you want to create and build your own comfort zone. You know, when the music industry does get that demanding, how do you balance that? You know, when there's a million projects being worked on, there's a million different artists that need to come in and work with you. Like, how do you pick and choose, and how do you like make sure you're not burning any bridges and like you're building with, you know, with everyone somehow?
Yeah. So as you know, I started signing producers.
Mm-hmm.
So what I do every time I have an opportunity, I'll be like, I have a chat with my producers and I send them like, yo, I need beats for this person. I need this for this person. Send me FLP's projects. Send me anything so I can work. Like I would work on them, try to work on them, or I would like just send the beats. I would just like, I'm super picky about the beats. So I would just pick like the ones I think the artist would like, and I would just send them out. Like it really helped with the workflow also to have like people that I trust that could send me stuff anytime I need to have stuff. So that really helped. And as far as like cooking up stuff on the spot after getting those calls, I would tell you my routine. I wake up at 6:30 with the kid. I give him some milk. I give him a banana because he likes banana. And then I would be in the studio office with him making beats until he gets to a point where he's like, I want to do something else, you know?
Right.
So I will sit there, try to make as many beats as I can. And then after that, like spend time with him, put him to nap, and then I make beats again. But in the meantime, I'm on the phone asking for beats to my producers, because it's always like an A&R asking me for beats, or even an artist that texts me for beats, you know? So, yeah.
Yeah, speaking of cooking up beats quickly, I remember when we were in Austin and we had those sessions. I mean, gosh, dude, I never saw someone make that many beats.
20. We did 20 each day.
20 each day.
I don't do that anymore.
No,
I did that twice.
That was too
like,
much.
Nah,
You were like a machine, man. You didn't stop. You didn't take a break. You didn't do nothing. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's because I wanted to like collab with like each of the guys that were there to make it worth it for them. You know?
I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that. Like you were conscious of that, man. And I think that's why people, you know, still want to sign with you. Like when you're talking about like, okay, you created like a label, Cash Gang, right?
Mm-hmm.
You did that really early, actually, like during the peak of when things were happening. You probably didn't have it all figured out. Like, you're going to create a label and you're going to have people signed to you. You got to make sure they're, that you're doing a good service for them, a good deal for them, like to make people feel at home under Cash Gang. And I just remember so many young producers like dying to be signed to you, like dying to work with you, you know? But when you had that much demand, did it get overwhelming? Did it feel like did you sign too many people? Did you sign not enough? Like, how did it, because that's a whole nother business, and that's other people's like intellectual property. That's their work. So you have to like treat them all fairly. You have to make sure that everyone is, because you hear these horror stories, right? Of like producers signing to another producer and then it goes haywire, right? And no one's ever heard of a story gone wrong with working with CashMoneyAP. How have you been able to keep your business really like professional at such a young age, like at that time when you really launched it, and then also be able to like have people trust you and work with you?
Yeah. So my first thing was like, before I started signing people, I was like, what can I bring to the table for them? Like, I just don't want them to sign to me and then nothing happens. So when I first started signing those kids, I always put the relationship side first before the business. So that's why all those kids, it's like a personal thing with them now. It's just not like, oh, he signed to me and then he does this. And now I talk with them all the time. Like, I spent some time in Paris with some of them. They brought their kids, and then we were just like chilling. It wasn't even about the music. Went to the Louvre, it wasn't even about the music.
Right,
so
right.
It does get overwhelming with like especially like the emails getting flooded. Like, I had to buy like storage, like, or like either I do that or I buy storage or like delete everything. But I feel like it's kind of disrespectful to delete all that work. So I was just like, I'm gonna just buy some storage, So that's what I did, and as far as now, I have 12. On paper, I probably have like just like 6 or 7 producers signed to me. But then all the rest, they're like, the contract is already over, but they're still with me.
Right.
That's how the relationship is between me and those guys.
Yeah.
Like Young Keo.
Yeah.
He's not signed to me anymore.
Right.
But he's still gang, because I still take care of stuff for him.
Sure.
And it's not like it's not a money thing. It's my brother.
That's your brother. We were with him yesterday, and like you could just see his eyes light up when he talks about you. Like,
shout out Young Keo.
Oh,
yeah, shout out
amazing guy, man.
He said to give him a shout out. Actually, there you go.
he's awesome, dude. I love his energy. He gives me so much energy when I talk to him and be around him. And the way he talks about you and that brotherhood, like, you could tell you guys will never let that like money or contracts or anything like get between you guys. You guys have always looked out for each other. It's a testament to when all the wolves were coming at him at that moment during Old Town Road, he only felt comfortable working with you and partnering with you and kind of getting that guidance and that advice from you. So it just shows you the type of reputation that you have with the community. But I will say, not all relationships go well, right? So like, have you ever encountered a situation where a producer that, that signed to you or worked with you and you're like, shit, just maybe that producer's not delivering anymore like they used to, not really, the work ethic is not there anymore, maybe just wasting your time?
Yeah, I actually had 2 producers. I'm in really good terms with them now. So I'm not gonna throw no names,
But people, sometimes are not ready for the moment.
Yeah, I feel like those kids they didn't understand like how the business was working. Because where Cashman gets its percentage, and I'm not gonna lie, it's 25%. We don't take 50%. No, we don't do none of that. 25%. And those kids didn't understand that on top of that, the lawyer was taking a 5% cut, or like the business manager was taking a 5% cut because they take care of the invoicing, the taxes, and stuff like that. They felt like blindsided by it. But then it was nothing like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna take 10% more from you. It's not in my power to like get those. I think it's like you have to pay the lawyer, you have to pay the business manager, and that's how they work. And then we got really lucky to have that was our lawyer at the time, to have a lawyer taking 5% from any amount. Like, if it was like the contract was like, let's say he sells the beat for like $1,500, the lawyer would take 5%, which is like $75.
Yeah,
should be happy.
It's
like
nothing.
the lawyer I have now is he gets paid $750 for, and like it depends on the amount of the contract, but the least he gets paid is $750.
Right. Like at minimum now.
Minimum.
Yeah. Yeah.
So those kids didn't understand that. I know that now they do get it.
Sure.
And then we're in good relationship now, so I don't want to
Right.
you know. But
They just weren't
that was
exposed to the business part of it.
Yeah, then they had posted it on Twitter and stuff like that, making it seem like I didn't want to let them out the contract. When it's like, bro, I'm not super confrontational. Like, I'm just like, if you want to go, I'll let you go. Like, I don't want to have somebody like that in a group, you know. But we're in good terms now, so I let them go. Like, they were able to do whatever they wanted to do, you know.
That's great, man. I mean, 2 out of 12, 15, that's okay.
Yeah.
It's going to happen sometimes, you know, with any kind of business, you know. Has there ever been like I'm sure there's been some crazy sessions in this room, you know. Has there like, I'm just curious, any memorable sessions that happened here with any artists, like bad or good, like anything that like just was just super memorable about something that happened in here?
Well, I had one with Draco the Ruler here.
Uh-huh.
And he was a super nice guy. Like, it wasn't even him.
Uh-huh.
It was somebody in his entourage. And I don't know if it's like a mechanism that they have. Like, I have the cameras in the front so I could see everything. And my wife was in the house. And then I was recording him, but she was texting me and she was like, "Yo, somebody just jumped the fence, and then come and knocked at the door saying that they're here to see Draco." And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, "Bro, the smoke gate is open, bro. Why you jump the fence? You can just open the door." So it was funny to think about.
Yeah.
That was the only thing really that was like, "Bruh, come on."
Yeah.
And then Draco was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, bro. Like, you know." And I was like, "Bro, it's all good." But then next time, tell him to open the door, you know, because it's open.
Right. Hopping over the fence.
That was the only thing. And then the second one was like with another artist. His entourage they were smoking the helium thing, the gas. And it was
Oh my God.
Yeah, they were smoking that gas. And then the next day I came in there, then in between the couches was like 6 or 7 of those tubes, super heavy tubes. And I was like, man.
Okay.
But there was nothing like
Nothing too crazy.
nothing too crazy, like, oh, I'm never gonna work with that guy anymore.
Right.
No, nothing
Right.
like that. Oh, there was like some session where it was just like I play 100 beats and they don't pick nothing. So it's like, why are you even here? You know? But
Just want to hang out with you.
yeah, right. I mean, I'm a nice guy, so.
But on the magic side, in the music magic side, any great songs that you know?
Oh yeah.
you know,
So I had this one Colombian artist called, his name is Fade. He was like one of the biggest reggaeton artists now.
Yeah, he's huge.
And he used to come here all the time to record. Like the first track we ever done, that song blew up. It was number one. It was number one in Colombia for like 3 months, and it was already on the map. But that song really like got him to another level. So yeah, I feel like that song. But I had so many sessions there. I can't really think about one where because most of them went well. I'm pretty easy to work with. So and then I have hands on everything, so I make sure everything sounds perfect before I get a draft out the computer. Like if it's trash, I'm not gonna say if it's trash because it's never trash. Never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just, you know, people's perception, right? Everyone has different tastes. It's objective, right?
Yeah.
So like how many years did it take before you first got approached to do your first big like publishing deal?
So it was 2017. That's when I got approached.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't even the publisher I had at that time. It was like another one.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy used to be the vice president of Def Jam, and he had his own structure, and he wanted to sign me because I had a song that was coming out with Lil Yachty and Quavo, and the main guy was only, and it was a YouTube beat, like he got it on YouTube, and it was giving me a deal. I will give you the amount. It was $100,000, and I was gonna sign with him because I wanted to move here. Like it was like I was gonna help you with the visa and stuff.
Right.
Well, designer came in the picture after, and then Universal got in the picture. They sent me the same offer. They matched it. They were like, "We're gonna match the offer." They just gave me $10,000 more to pay my lawyer fees. But the thing, I had that guy, Universal and APG, and but the best offer was Universal. But Universal had one thing in the contract: they didn't want me to post beats anymore on YouTube. And I was like, I was on the phone with my manager. It wasn't my manager at the time. I was like, what would I sign? At that time I was making like maybe $15,000 a month. What would I sign a deal?
It wasn't just like posting beats on YouTube. It was licensing and selling beats online.
Yeah.
Right? Too.
Yeah.
Right?
So it was 15,000 of selling beats, and then I was still making money of the views. And this was like a 5-figure every month.
Right.
So it was just like why would I sign that and stop doing what I'm doing?
Yeah.
And then I'm not sure in like a year, I'm not gonna be sure like how I'm gonna make money. So I told him I'm not gonna sign. And I remember my lawyer at the time was like, bro, that's the best deal you're gonna get. You should sign it. And I was like, no, I'm not signing that. And then a couple of days after they came back, they were like, okay, we're gonna change the contract. We're gonna give you whatever you want.
Yeah.
Because my manager really wanted me. So he told them like, yo, take that language out the contract.
Yeah.
Like, you know, that what's funny is that they don't do custom publishing contract. It was a form for everybody, the same form.
Oh, yeah.
I was the first one where they had to like change the language.
Yep. I was there. They called me.
Yeah.
Right? Of course. They called me. And, you know, we talked to your lawyers at that time. And I thought it was like the most revolutionary shit ever. I was like, hold up, man. This dude went from posting free beats on the internet on his YouTube channel to telling the music industry, I'm good. Rework my contract and let me sell beats online and let me continue to be an entrepreneur and build my YouTube channel. Like, when I heard that has never been done by a producer, I was like, oh shit, the game's changing.
Yeah.
Because to force like the music industry to carve out the ability for you to license and continue to build your business online, and you kept going and you kept building it, for them to not take a piece of that and not force you to like just fall in line with the music industry, I was like, this is a new moment right here. This is a new moment. And you were a pioneer in that way too, like pushing back. Now, I got to ask you, if you didn't have that leverage, if you were making that income that you were making at that time, you were making a lot of money selling beats online, do you think you would have even been able to say no, thank you?
I don't think so.
Probably not,
No.
right?
Mm-mm.
And,
I would have signed.
And you probably would have signed.
Yeah.
And most producers prior to the internet era would have signed.
Yeah.
And would have gave away their ability to build their own business.
Yeah.
Damn, I just love that the internet did that for you, and you built that brand and that leverage and that business and the financial freedom to be like, nah, I'm good. Come back with something else. Yeah. And they came back quick.
Yeah.
And then after that happened, they started doing that for all the producers that were making a killing on BeatStars and on YouTube, and you paved the way with that, man.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's so cool to see, because for the longest time, producers have always been kind of like subject to whatever deal gets thrown at you, whatever ownership is taken. You're just like so hungry for the opportunity, right? To be signed to this label or to this company, and always put in a position to kind of like sacrifice themselves. Mm-hmm. And it's a new era, and I'm just like so proud of you for standing your ground and not just taking anything.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Now, when you think about that, that's 2017. That's a long time ago.
That's a long time ago.
That's a long time ago. And I remember we were talking. That was your first deal.
That was my first deal, yeah.
And I remember you calling me, hey, man, I recouped that deal in 1 year, bro. Yeah. Like, I knocked that out. Like, they didn't even have to worry about me. And then I remember talking to the Universal guys. They're like, we never had a producer just like recoup that quickly.
Yeah, but you know what's crazy? It's because of the type beats. Like, the rappers were using the beats. All I had to do was to clear the record.
Yeah.
And then I was getting songs with Low Skies. I got with him. And at that time, I was making all my beats. So it was easy for me to recoup because I had all the 50% publishing and everything.
Yeah.
So
it was all set in the licenses.
Yeah.
Because I remember we had a call with, management and your lawyers. They're like, hey, we need to automatically, send the licenses. We need to check everything. We need to make sure like we follow up on all these songs.
I didn't remember that. Oh, that's
remember
crazy.
That? Remember?
Yeah, I remember.
Because they were on it. It was just so many licenses happening. It was just like every day, hundreds of licenses.
I was sending the licenses to my lawyer.
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah. And because they were like, let's recoup, let's do that. And you're probably now, since 2017, what deal are you on now? The second, third deal?
I'm on my third deal.
Third deal. So knock the second one out.
The second one, I knocked it out in like a year. Because I was blessed to have like big songs.
Yeah.
In that year, like a couple months after I signed. So just like 2 songs recouped the whole deal.
So technically, you really didn't need to do a co-pub deal, technically, because you really could have just done admin, because you were the one, making these songs happen yourself. What made you kind of continue investing and partnering with, you know, like the Universals of the world? Was there any other services that like you felt like that was working well for you to keep building with them?
I mean, when I first signed, I didn't have like an E&O or anything because I signed through my manager, and then so I didn't have nobody assigned to me, so I didn't really get sessions from them. I was getting sessions from other labels.
Right.
Like Skies were APG,
Yeah.
Youngboy was APG. Like they really liked me, and it wasn't they weren't salty when I didn't sign with them because I'm a nice person, as I told you. So they were like, we're gonna put me sessions, and they knew that I had the ability of bringing the best out of the artist. And then my first session with Low Skies, for example, we did Nowadays and Lust, and those are two of his biggest songs, like same session, back to back, you know. So yeah, and then with Universal, it's a contract thing because when you sign a contract, there's options. So I had an options in my first contract, so they used the option, and then for my second publishing deal, we renegotiated because I had like leverage for like bigger songs, another option. But I like Universal. Like now I have somebody assigned to me, and then they really put me in sessions and stuff like that. And I really, if I'm not happy about something, I will tell them. I'm like super direct.
Yeah.
I'm not confrontational, but if there's like really something that bothers me, I will tell them.
I feel like, you started the whole trend of all of these major publishers going after the internet producers and signing them. I mean, if you think about it now, that's all they're signing now.
Yeah.
That's all they're signing. They're signing as the internet producers, their whole roster.
Shout out BeatStars Publishing, man.
For sure. BeatStars Publishing doing great.
Nice.
It's a great venture, man.
You guys got some Grammys too this year, right?
Yeah. Well, this year we didn't. Yeah, our producers didn't.
You got
win
nominated
any.
though.
Got nominated for a few.
Last year too.
Last year we won
the year before
our
too.
producers. Yep.
The year before too.
Hey man,
Hey,
listen,
bro,
listen, man. It's a different game. The internet producers are running the game, bro. And I knew this was gonna happen.
Yeah.
You guys' talent was just out of this world, and I knew the game was gonna have to adjust and conform around what you guys wanted. And this is probably the first, like the real golden era in history where producers can dictate how they want to do their deals now. This is the first time, and it started with you. So
pioneers. Yep.
Everyone, make sure you go send a thank you to CashMoneyAP and on his YouTube channel and Instagram. Send some money too. But then you got signed. Well, not signed, but you started working with Stephen Victor, and so he became your manager.
Mm-hmm.
And when did that happen? How did that come about? Was it from that designer song you were talking about?
Well, he never dropped those songs, I believe. It was just like him using the beats. So how it happens was like, designer was in the studio with Steven, and he kept playing songs that I produced, but all you hear was CashMoneyAP. And Steven was like, who's that? At first, he thought it was like an instrument in the beat, but he kept hearing it, and he was like, who's that? And designer was like, oh, that's a guy from YouTube. But Steven didn't think nothing of it. And it's a couple weeks after Sababy goes to his office and plays music. And again, it's my beats from YouTube. Mm-hmm. It's like, again. And then he told me that the next meeting he had was with A$AP Rocky, and he played a song produced by me. I think A$AP Rocky was the feature on the song. I think the main artist was Nestle. That's his name. Mm-hmm. It was like, again, him. So he sent me an email, and he was saying StevenVictor@KanyeWest.com. And I'm like, I was with my girlfriend at the time. Now she's my wife, and I was like, yo, I got this. And I was like, that's probably a scam. So I was like, let me just answer. And he's like, yo, I want to sign you. And I was like, let's get on the phone call or something. And so the first thing he asked me, he said, what songs do you have coming? like any publisher, like, what do you have coming?
Yeah, what's coming up?
Yeah, so I told him I had a couple songs on the way.
Yeah.
And it was like, yo, I want to sign you. And then that's when they sent the first offer. And you know what's crazy? Like after Universe work, the first guy that wanted to sign me, he heard about Universal trying to sign me. So he thought that my lawyer at the time was using his deal as leverage, which he wasn't. Because, I mean, I don't even know what leverage was at the time.
Yeah.
It was just like, take out the contract.
Right.
And it was like, I don't want to sign you anymore. I was super bummed about it. I was like, man, I wanted to sign with this guy. And then Universal came after in the picture. Mm-hmm. And then I got to sign with them. So Steven's been managing me since March 2017. So it's been 7 years.
Amazing.
And we don't even have a contract anymore. It's just like he takes care of my stuff, you know?
Man, the journey's been amazing. So many wins, and but life does have its twists and turns, you know, and I'm sure that you've had some challenges for sure. Was there any like real challenges that you could point to that you've learned from that you wish you could have done better, that whoever's watching this would really learn from and take to heart?
I feel like it's mostly like responding to hate. Like I shouldn't have entertained like people hating on me. My wife used to always tell me, don't answer, don't reply, don't say nothing. But yeah, I always had to like put my little salt in it, you know.
Yeah, I know.
And that's the only thing I would like just not would change. Like just like don't pay attention to none of that, you know.
Don't entertain that.
Yeah.
Yeah, me and you had a few calls, man, because we used to have some of the same people hating on both of us.
Yeah.
I used to call you. I'm like, Cash, what do I do, bro? What do I do? And you know, you're right. It used to because we're good people, man. We do right. We do good business with people. Never burned anyone. Never hurt anyone. Never stole from anyone. And reputation is all we have.
Yep.
You know, and the internet was just filled with a bunch of trolls, man. It was, you know, it was a dark time. There was a dark time where people were flying with narratives, and I totally agree, man. I think like we should have just said nothing.
Yeah, I do remember there's times where like my name got dragged in the mud, and I'm like, of some situations that I had no power. Like it wasn't my choice to do stuff like that. And
so don't let it bother you is what you tell everyone. Just don't let it
bother you. Like I had like Steven was telling me, yo, don't pay attention. So like imagine you getting hate right now. Imagine somebody like Kim Kardashian, like how much hate she gets every day.
Right.
So it was just telling me, yo, don't pay attention. So just let it go, and then that's what I did, you know.
But if you know, honestly, if you didn't go through that, you wouldn't have been prepared for the next like few years of stardom, you know, like you wouldn't, because I'm sure there's been different variations of it throughout the years, and you're better, like more mentally prepared for it, you know?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
So we got to go through some of that shit. And
no, you need to.
People, you know, I think the most successful people, you know, if you're not getting hated on, then you're doing something wrong probably, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You're doing something wrong. So shout out to the haters, man.
Shout out to you guys. Love you.
Love you, baby. And, you know, but at the end of the day, you know, we walk a straight line, man. And we're not going to let anyone push us off. So that's the reason why me and you are still sitting here. And we, you know, have built that respect and friendship for all these years, because there's a reason why some other people are not sitting on this chair, you know. The world's already so divisive, bro. Like the world is already so negative, and it's already bringing people down, like, you know. And we were that golden era of online music producers, the 2016s, the 2015s. We needed to stay together. We were going against the industry. Like you had to fight for your rights. You had to fight for your, you know what I'm saying? Like it was not a time for division, and we needed leaders like you, and we needed leaders like me. You know, we need leaders like me to stand up for the community. So I'm proud of what we've done for the community. I think our legacy and what we've done for the community will last for generations, and that's all we can ask for.
Yeah, and it's so much talent out there. Like all those kids, like it's like I said off camera, it's so easy to make beats now, but you really gotta like learn how to produce, because making beats, like I remember being in a studio with a rapper, and he used to tell me everybody got fire beats, but it's just like a few of them that know how to really produce. And then the artist, I remember he was in the studio with like some of those other producers that be hating, and he was telling me like, bro, I don't know, like I don't really I wasn't really like vibing with them because they didn't know like how to produce. And he came here once, and that guy didn't want to leave. I know there's a lot of people talking down on other people in sessions. I feel like you're really burning bridges, because I don't think the artists come in the studio in the mind like, yeah, we're gonna talk shit about somebody else, you know?
Right.
So it just be like, stay positive.
Yeah.
Don't hate on nobody. Just stay in your lane, you know? That's how I've been trying to do all those years, man.
I know.
You know.
It's always been about collaboration for you. You know, it's never been about like, oh, just me. I'm just going to make these beats. I'm going to shop just my beats.
Impossible.
And so it's always been about, you know what? Okay, it is a competitive landscape, but I'm going to figure out a way to collaborate with other people and give people an opportunity to shine, you know?
Exactly, yeah.
What were some placements that have happened for some of the artists that, you know, or some of the producers that, you know, that have worked for you that you helped kind of turn into some pretty big songs? Was there any big songs that came out of some of those producers that assigned to you?
Well, as you know, Keo got Old Town Road.
Of course.
But Old Town Road, I signed Keo Old Town was like making some noise on Twitter back in January 2019, and it was meme, like it was like some meme stuff. So me and Keo used to be in a group chat with like all the producers, and we used to clown each other all day. And Cleo was the one that we used to clown a lot. But you know, like he's super fresh now, no homo, you know, but he looks good. But we used to clown him a lot, and then one day he showed me the song, and I was like, bro, if you want, I can help you with it. I helped him with that. He had that song. Then I got him on Low Tech as project. I got him on Fade's album. We got a song with Megan Thee Stallion. That was a single on the last album she dropped. I got another producer named is Daniel Morris, which is one of the guys that another producer of mine brought to the team, and he actually lives in LA. So shout out to him. Every time I have a session, I bring Keo and I bring Daniel to the session so they can just like come make the beat with me, because you know, like I have more pride of like doing that than just doing it by myself, because it's like it gets boring. I don't want to turn. It's like I don't want to make the same thing over and over. I need like fresh minds with me. Like yo, that's how the best music's gonna come out. Because if I do the same thing over and over, it's gonna be boring. I don't want to do that. And those guys are really good. So
I love A Boogie, man.
Yeah,
I remember him buying beats on BeatStars when he was really young.
Talking about A Boogie was the first artist I ever did a contract with.
Oh,
2016. It was a song called "Bag on Me" by A Boogie,
he's super
and that's
talented.
the first. Yeah, that's the first time I ever hired a lawyer.
Dope.
That's the first time I ever got a check for a song.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was $5,000. Actually, it was a lot of money back then.
Hell yeah.
But especially, I have placements, but like never got paid for any of those placements. But $5,000 was like from that guy was good. So.
Hell yeah, man. And he's still here, still doing it. It's amazing. Yeah. I'm gonna bring up a couple artists' name, and you tell me what comes to mind when you think about them.
Yeah.
Pop Smoke.
Go. He was one of the best artists I work with. Humble, super humble.
You miss him?
Hell yeah. I remember that day when I checked my it was one of my friends that texted me, and then I always have my phone down when I wake up, and I just like turn it on. And then the first thing I see was like my friend was like, yo, bro, they killed Pop Smoke. And I'm like, huh? Then I go on Twitter and I see it, and then like it was just like crazy, because I was supposed to be with him the night before. But I had a session that dragged till like 3 a.m. So I went home and I slept, and then I woke up at like 9, and then I saw that. I was like devastated. It was crazy. Because that guy he didn't deserve it. That guy was like the most humble person I knew. Like if there is like 10% in the room, he would walk in and say hi to everybody in the room. Yeah. That's the type of guy he was. And he was listening in the studio.
His music. He was on his way to becoming a super duper star.
Yeah. Whole type of music he had.
Yeah. God rest his soul, man.
Yeah.
XXX.
Another goat. I mean, you're just mentioning the ghost right now. It's just like it was like his music was like different too. When he first came in the picture, it was just like, yo, this guy is different, you know. So rest in peace to him too, real goat.
Lil Skies.
Lil Skies is a super like interesting character, because I know that he's not really like, he didn't really like being in that label environment. He liked to be by himself and like make music. So at first I didn't know that, but then throughout the years I could see that guy doesn't like to go to certain studios or like do stuff like that. So the fact that I was able to do those songs with him, the first session we ever had, was like a blessing. Yeah. So shout out to him too, because I mean those songs helped me, you know, and helped him too. So
they were massive. They were hits, man. NLE Choppa.
Oh, this guy is it could be my brother from another, you know. He came to my wedding. Like I was like, he's probably the artist I was the most close to, because it was just like, it would send me stuff. I used to drop him off at his hotel. I used to talk to his mama, his dad. I know his whole family, you know. Yeah. So and I did his biggest songs too. So
it's like watching him kind of grow up recently too, and then like embrace Islam recently, like, you know, growing spiritually, and he's grown up. He's growing up really quick. Do you mind if I play a couple of your beats?
What you gonna play?
A couple of your like, actually like some of your top sellers from BeatStars from back in the day.
What are those? Because I don't even know.
Okay, these are collabs though. These are collabs.
It's all good.
This one is with Accent. It's called Dedication.
Oh yeah, I remember that beat.
And I want you to tell us a little bit about it.
I do remember that beat.
I remember this beat.
Yeah, I remember that beat. That's like 2016, isn't
This is 2017.
it? Yeah, I do remember that.
Bart Simpson on the cover.
That was, I started the whole
You
wave.
did start
too.
that.
Oh my God. We forgot to talk about that. I started the whole wave.
Yeah, you had the funkiest covers.
Yeah. I remember my beats back then, they were like, now that I think about it, those beats are like too full. Like there's no room for rappers.
This one's pretty simple. No, it had too much going on.
I've done so many sessions, man. Like
Your drums
they're like
are
the
different.
simplest
Your
stuff.
drums are different now than
Yeah.
this one.
Yeah, they're like the simplest stuff now.
Yeah.
But this beat, Accent just sent me the loop and I just did the drums and just posted it online.
Shout out to Accent, man.
Shout out to Accent.
I went to Amsterdam and visited him a couple years in a row, and we had him on last season. He's an amazing guy too.
I haven't talked to him in years.
He's a great
too.
dude.
Like, it's crazy.
Great dude. Great guy.
Nice.
His music's dope too.
Yeah.
He had a moment, I remember. Like he had a moment on BeatStars where he was just like, I think it was like a lot of J. Cole type beats what he was
Okay.
doing back in the day. This one is called Amber.
That's a 21 Savage type beat. Yeah.
21 Savage.
This, I had so many artists use that beat. It's crazy.
This
And
one
it's
was
just me on the beat.
it's just you.
That one is just me.
Yeah.
That was 20. Oh, that's not just me. Oh, Lil Wayne used that beat. Oh,
Lil Wayne used this beat?
Yeah, Lil Wayne used that beat on Dedication. You know what's funny about, bro? Oh my God, I will tell you that story about this song. I was like, he was dropping Dedication on a, I think it was on a Sunday, and I had a feeling I don't really listen to him. I used to listen to him more before, but I wasn't really listening to him that time. And I was like, something is telling me to go check out that project, and it was the last song on the project.
Amazing.
And I was like, bro, I got Lil Wayne on my beat. It's crazy.
And
I think I was dropping a number 2, and I heard the song. I was like, man. I was like, what the fuck? Yeah.
Amazing. It's still
know-
up for sale too, so people can come get it.
Is it?
Yeah.
I might have to take that one down.
That's a classic.
Yeah,
Here's
shout out to Oso because he did the collab with me. He was super happy.
Oso,
I remember.
yeah, I remember
I
Oso.
remember
Yeah,
that. He was super
yeah.
happy when that song
You've
dropped.
collabed with so many producers.
I do remember there was a year when I posted a screenshot, and it was
yeah.
it was like how much money I split with producers.
It
And
was like $1
those-
million or something like that.
No.
Okay.
I wish.
Something. It was
It
big
was like
though.
150,000.
Right.
Like they made 150,000 of the beats we did.
Right. From the
So,
collabs.
Yeah, so it
collabs.
was like
Yeah.
crazy.
It's beautiful.
No?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like a lot of those guys that you collab with early on, like that's what kickstarted their career selling beats online because
Yeah.
they were on your profile, you know. And
Yeah.
to share 150 grand with a bunch of producers online, I mean, that's amazing.
That's
dude.
crazy.
You used to do a lot of like, and I don't know if you still do it, but you used to go on Twitch a lot.
Oh yeah, I mean it's just that I don't have time to do it now. I mean I wish I could because it's like business point.
Producers used to love it. They
Yeah,
used to-
business side is like I do this. I'm able to like promote my own stuff or like my producer stuff.
Yeah.
And I do remember when I was going crazy with it, like I had posted a drum kit that I did with Foreign Tech,
Mm-hmm.
and this
Oh,
thing
yeah,
was
I
sold
remember.
so much. That thing still sells to
Still
this day.
sells on BeatStars. It's crazy.
so-
it's crazy. When that one dropped, that was like the biggest selling sound kit on BeatStars for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now that I have another house, like because here it was most like work, being with the kid. Now that I have the other house, and then we closer to my wife's family, so it's easy for them to like help with the kid. So I will be able to like go back on Twitch more often. I will try because I liked it.
Do you miss like collabing with all these young up and coming artists the way you used to collab
Yeah.
with them? Do you miss doing that?
Yeah, but you know what's crazy is that at some point I was charging for them to collab with me. And it was a service on BeatStars that you had added like a section to like stuff like that for like custom services.
Yeah.
I stopped doing that because it's like I don't want to do that. Like I don't
Yeah.
need the money. Like
Right.
just send me. Like I had kids in my DMs to this day. Like how much you charge for a collab? I'm like no, send me some loose.
Yeah,
Like
for sure.
I don't want to do that anymore. And
But I meant like the independent artists that are, buying the beats. All
Those
the
guys?
young people that, kind of helped you help their career, like the next generation. How involved are you with these young guys now, these customers today? Staying in touch with them or not? Discovering any new artists?
if I could, I would, but
Yeah.
I just don't. Like I'm telling you, my email get flooded so much.
Yeah.
And now there's like different tabs on the email, like social,
Right.
promotion, and like
Yeah.
all the sales thing gets in one tab with like all my Wish transfers and stuff. Like I don't know why everything got like mixed up.
Yeah.
So I can't even see when I get a sale.
It's crazy.
I barely get a sale though. Bitch, I got to promo me. Come on, go ahead.
Yeah, man.
I'm playing.
Yes,
But,
BeatStars team needs to run it up.
I'm playing, but Yeah, like I wish I would like. I know some of those guys. I'm pretty sure like some of those guys are like the top guys now, and I just didn't know.
Right.
You know,
Right.
like Sababy. Sababy, it's his dad that used to buy my beats, so I could never know until Sababy told me, "Yo, my dad buy your beats on
So you didn't know
BeatStars."
who it was. Yeah.
I wouldn't know. You know.
Yeah.
And he was kind of slick about it because he was telling him who was the artist, so I would give him a good deal.
Got it.
I mean, it's
Got
good.
it.
Like I would do the same thing.
Hell
I would do
yeah,
the same
of
thing. So
course.
shout to Sababy's dad. Shout to Sababy.
For sure. Cash Money B, it's been an honor to sit with you, man. It's been
Same.
great to learn from you and just see. I was able to watch this movie from the beginning, and to see you become the man that you become, man, it's just a blessing. Thank you for sharing all these gems, all these stories, all these experiences with the community. Do you have any last words for the people out there? I
say just keep going, stay consistent, and then stay in your own lane. Don't mind the hate, like we said. And shout out to Abe because I have a work ethic, but I wouldn't be where I'm at right now if it wasn't for Abe and BeatStars. So
My
shout out
guy,
to you, man.
I appreciate you, bro. Thank you,
Yep.
man. God bless you.
Yep. Now I
I'm a
want
fan.
25% of the company.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Exactly. Did you ever? Okay, well, that's a different topic. That's a different topic.
Part 2 of the podcast. Let's do it.
For sure, my brother. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That's another episode of Pay the Creators with the legend. This one's gonna go crazy. Make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll check you guys out next time. Peace.